A setback is not the end, but a beginning. High up in the misty mountains, where the clouds often touch the ground, lived a father and his son in a small wooden cabin, far away from the rest of the world. They had little, just a few chickens, a patch of sweet potatoes, and an old mule. That mule was their most precious possession. It carried firewood and supplies along the steep, rocky trails. But one stormy night, the rope tying the mule snapped. By morning, the mule was gone. In a place like this, losing your mule was like losing your legs. The son panicked. How are we supposed to live now? Dad, why aren't you doing something? The father, calm and quiet, sipped his tea and replied, "Who knows? Maybe it's not a bad thing." The son grew more frustrated. Down in the village, people came to show sympathy. The father remained still, unshaken. Weeks later, while chopping wood in the forest, they heard a familiar clatter. To their shock, the mule had returned. But not alone. It had brought with it a wild mountain horse, strong and fierce, its mane flying like fire, eyes sharp as blades. The son shouted with joy, "Dad, it came back and brought us a gift." Villagers gathered in amazement. "This is a blessing. The mountain spirits must favor you." But the father simply said, "Maybe so, maybe not." The son didn't care about his father's calmness. He immediately tried to tame the wild horse, dreaming of turning it into a mountain warrior. But he underestimated the wildness inside it. One foggy morning, while riding it, the horse threw him violently into the rocks. His leg snapped badly. This time, the villagers returned with sighs. "You were just getting lucky, and now this? What a cruel twist." The father gently wrapped his son's leg and said, "Who knows, maybe this too is a good thing." The son lay in bed for weeks, no longer angry, just staring at the wooden ceiling, thinking. Then came winter. Snow covered the mountains. Soldiers from the town arrived, drafting all young men for a dangerous war at the border. Families cried as they sent their sons off, not knowing if they'd return. When the soldiers reached the father's home, they saw the son's injured leg. He was unfit for duty. They moved on. The son was silent. He looked at his father. This time, he didn't ask why. Now, the villagers looked at the father with new eyes. One of them whispered, "Maybe everything really does happen for a reason." The father smiled gently, repeating his quiet truth. Maybe. The lesson. Life never follows a straight path. What feels like a loss today might be the beginning of something better. And what seems like a blessing could one day become a lesson. The father didn't know the future. He simply chose not to react too quickly. Because he understood. Events are neutral. It's how we choose to see them that makes them good or bad. An uplifting message. If you're going through a hard time, if everything seems to be falling apart, don't give up just yet. Maybe life is simply redirecting you, guiding you to where you truly belong. Keep going. One day, you'll understand why it all happened.